Hey everybody, it's Janine. I got a couple of questions yesterday and some really good feedback about our video on Studio J. So I thought today I would go ahead and just revisit it and show you a couple more things that you can do in Studio J. Now I really hope that you guys who have not taken the time to access this product from close to my heart, as consultants I hope you'll do that because I promise you, you will love it, and when you show it you will have customers who love it as well, and it's the easiest digital scrapbooking that there is on the market. I've kind of looked around a little bit and played just to see what competition is like. This one's the best. So what we're going to do is go to closetomyheart.com and just click on that Access Studio J link like we did yesterday. Instead of creating a new project, today we're going to go click on go to My Projects, and this will show the things that we have already begun working on. So I'm going to go ahead and open this one for Gabe's Broken Wrist because that's the one that we were playing with yesterday. From this screen, if there's anything that you need to delete, or if, like, you'll see this word duplicate, if there's a layout that you've done and you want to duplicate it and make a second printing or make some changes to it, you can do it right from that screen really easily. So this looks familiar because this is what we played with yesterday, but let me show you a couple of fun things that I like to do, okay? One of the things I didn't show you yesterday is down here, this will show you the thumbnail of the layout you're working on. And if we click to add a layout, let's say that I needed to do more than one layout for this theme. I could click Add Layout and continue to create in that same paper packet or whatever, and it would just show down here. So this is good if you're doing a theme album and you just need to see the things that you're working on. If you click on Hide Thumbnails, it's good because it opens up and gives you a little bit more space to look at and create with, okay? So a couple things that I want to show you is this. First of all, you can add photo mats, and there are some fun things you can do with your pictures. And go test all of these and play with some of the features that you have from Studio J, okay? So one of the things that I really like about this is that I can go ahead and click on the mat. Right now I don't have a photo mat, and you know that when you do that, it's like adding a piece of cardstock or something behind it so that it accents that photo a little bit more. Right now we don't have one, but you know what? I can choose a 1/16, very small mat, and see what happens when I click on this. It gives me a little tiny mat. If I want to make it a little bit bigger, I can just keep going up, bigger and bigger and bigger. And by doing that, it does reduce the size of my photo a little bit, but that just gives you a little bit of flexibility in adding photo mats. I really kind of like the 1/8 size. And then here's the fun thing about it. If you click on the colors right next to that, it will give you the option to change that photo mat color. So right now it's this orange, which we don't really have anywhere on our layout, but I can choose whatever color it is that I want to play with, and you can just go through and see whatever color you want to substitute for. I've kind of just stuck with that navy, so I'm going to go ahead and keep it at navy. So here's another fun thing that you might not realize and bypass. If I want to change any of my photos so that they're not just in full color, you have the option to do that. Right now I don't have a filter, but I can change any photo I want to a black and white photo or a sepia photo. So let me just show you what this would look like. See how all of a sudden that changed it to black and white? I click on this, it'll change it to sepia. So normally we probably wouldn't do too much of that, but you know what, if you're doing a layout where you want one photo to really kind of stand out and be a little bit different, that's kind of a cool thing to do, and you can change it right from this screen. Isn't that awesome? I love it. So then here's another thing that I will show you that I like to do a lot. When we are doing our pictures, you might want to put a little caption right here that says, you know, on the way to start the cast, or look at Gabe's face, or whatever thing that you want to add. You can do it right on Studio J. So here's what we're going to do. Go click Text and Photo area, and we just want to add some journaling. So I'm going to take this journaling block and drag it wherever. We could kind of make it smaller, do whatever it is that we want to do. But let's just say that I want this right here. So I can move it and reduce the size of it and just put it wherever it is that I want it to be, okay? And then from here, just click on this Edit Text, and we will go ahead and just type, I don't know, let's just put in process. I know, awesome journaling, huh? I would probably put a little something different. But now if I click off of that, you're going to see that on my photo, I've got this that says in process. Now, if I don't want that to show with this kind of lighter background, if I click on this again and go over here and click on the colors and the papers and whatever, the background, right now it's showing that I have this vellum background. That's what that looks like, that almost like vellum paper, where you get a little bit of a milky look. If I don't want that, I just click on none and it takes that away, so that then it's just the words. Now if I'm looking at that going, oh, I like that, and you can move that wherever you want, but just also understand if you click on edit, you can change the font from here. If I want it to be right aligned, if I want it to be centered, I can mess with that. The other cool thing is, look at the colors up here. These are in the shape of a T for text. So this is just all of the background paper colors. This will give you the option to set your font color. So it's kind of naturally always in black, but I just like to show you that that's the T that reminds you for text. So I can go ahead and start playing with some of these colors, so you can change your journaling to whatever color you want. So I'm going to click on white. See how that stands out a little bit better than the black did? So just know that you can change this to whatever color you want, and it's so fast and it's so easy. And there's not any other additional programs that you have to have in order to add that custom feature on here, okay? The other thing that I was going to show you is down here you've got this distressing area, and this is kind of a cool thing because, you know, we can like ink distress with like a sponge and an ink pad on cardstock when we're playing. You can also do some surface distressing with sanding to like rub away some of that top layer and have the white core of our cardstock show through. Well, you've got these 3 different distressing techniques that you can also apply to our cardstock. So that's kind of a fun thing. So let's say I want to do sanding. So I'm just going to go and drag this over to this cardstock. See how it has that green plus? That means that I can distress that. Let me just drop that right here. So it's going to load that distressing information. And remember that whatever it applies to here, it applies to everything, okay? And then we can go ahead and move this down or up to show the different features that we want. I don't know if you can see that. We've got a little bit of that sunset background down here. If we want to do this in white daisy so that it looks like our white core cardstock, see how when I change that distressing over here to white, now it looks like we just took some sandpaper and distressed our paper. And remember, whatever we do to this piece of cardstock, it does it to all the other pieces of that color of cardstock, like you can see here. Kind of the same idea as with our embellishments. When I changed one button color yesterday, it changed all the button colors yesterday. So then another thing that, this is kind of the same idea with our journaling. If I've clicked on this journaling and I don't want that vellum background, know that you don't have to have that. You can go ahead and click on here. Right now we've got vellum, just put none and it'll take that away so that all you have is that background you can see a little bit better. So that's kind of a nice feature that we can offer. If you want to have a color of the background, you can click on whatever color it is for the background of your journaling, and it will change that as well. So just know you have so many options here. I typically just kind of like to click none if I want the background to show. And then know that you can also move this box and we can click and drag to make it a little bit bigger and fill that space a little bit more. Just pull on that arrow and you can see how, since this is scaled, it'll just automatically fill the space how you want. And let's say I want to have that centered, so we can center it. Isn't that cool that there's so much that you can do with that? I just love it. Now, if we're looking at these little boxes going, you know, I feel like I need to add something there, remember that we do have these stickies, and we didn't go through all these yesterday, but I'll just show you a couple of them. Let's look at maybe our medium size accents. And while it's loading these, oh, that loaded up quick. Let's just say we wanted to put a couple of these on here. I don't know if I love any of those. Let's look at some of the other ones on here. You can drag and drop your accents over here. This is a large one, but let me just show you something. If I drag this over here, but I don't love the size of it, know that you can change the size of it. And I can put that right here. So here's another cool thing that you need to be familiar with. Yesterday I showed you the undo button. So if you ever mess something up, you've got a delete key. When you click on undo, it'll just go back one step and take away the last thing you did. So it's pretty hard to mess up in Studio J. Here's another thing I want to show you though. If we click on this, if I like the size of that, rather than take this, drag it over again, and try to eyeball the size, I can just copy and paste it. So let's go up here. You can see that when you've got this in black, these are steps that you can do. If it's grayed out, it's not something you can do. So we're going to go ahead and click on this, click copy, and then click paste. And did you see how a second one of those showed up? So all we've got to do is drag and drop this over. Now one thing that you're going to see see the little blue lines that come out like straight down to the picture below it and to the left of this thing right next to it? I'm trying to show you. See how you've got that blue line that shows up? This is what this snapping is. I always just keep snapping on, and basically that's an alignment tool. So if I just didn't have that, I would just be kind of going, where should I put this? Is that even? Is that even? Is that even? I wouldn't know. This helps me find out how even this is. So look at right now, it's exactly even with the stickies to the left, and it's also centered over this picture below. That's where that line was coming from. So that snapping tool is really cool if you're trying to line things up. So let's just say I want to paste it again, and let's just add one more of these. And we're going to put this here. Now see how it lets me line that up perfectly with the one right next to it. Oh, there we go. So that they're all lined up. It makes it so easy and so nice. Now let's say, you know what, I didn't like that. We just click on undo and it just removes that last step. So that we don't have that here anymore. So that's another tool you're going to want to get very familiar with, okay? You will see that I do have a couple little brads here that need to be colorized. And I will show you that if I tried to finish this project and I had missing pieces, or if that wasn't colorized, it would give me a screen with like a flashing orange light that said, hey, there's some missing pieces, or there's some things you need to resolve, so that you can go back and go, oh, what did I miss? Something like this would be pretty easy to miss because they're so small, but Close to My Heart will like outline that in orange so that you can see that, okay? And then I always just like to click save as I do things, okay? So then the other last thing that I'm going to show you is if we want to add, oh, let's say we're going to add some ribbon. This is another thing that's kind of fun to do. Let's click on ribbon. And this is something really easy to add. If you're just feeling like you need to fill some space, but you're not really sure, you know, what you want to do or whatever. You've got different types of ribbon. You can just do a flat piece of ribbon, one with a center knot in it, one that's got kind of a flat diagonal edge. So look at all the different options that you have. And then you also even have a little knot, a little flat knot, and a little skinnier one here, so that you can play with these a little bit. So let's just say that I want to add this center knot ribbon. You can take this and drag and drop this over here and just drop it wherever you want that to go. And you can see that that just stops right at the edge of your paper. So let's say I really kind of like that, but I don't want this piece of ribbon here because obviously that doesn't really work with that. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this picture that it's kind of covering up a little bit. And see how this jumps out at you? It used to be in gray like that. Now it's black. I can click bring forward and it's going to move this picture in front of the ribbon. It's going to bring it forward. So watch, when I do that, you just keep clicking on this until everything that you want is in front. So if I need 3 layers, if there's a photo mat and a photo and all kinds of things, you just keep clicking on bring forward to the things that you want. Or vice versa, if there's something that you want behind, just click send it to the back. So there's always ways that you can change those things. Now let's go ahead and click on this, and remember we can change the ribbon color to whatever color it is that we want. Now I obviously don't love that orange, so we change it to white, and remember what happens when you change your ribbon color is it changes all of them. So let's just go ahead and find a different color that we like. And you can see how now we've added some additional ribbon. Now if I want more than just that knot there, here's kind of the fun thing. We can take a little ribbon knot, or I can take this flat knot and we're just going to go drag this over here and put it right on top. And if I want this to be bigger, look at, I can just mess with this ribbon and make it big or small or whatever size that I want it to be. Okay, so then we just place that where we want, and I can even click on this and rotate it until I'm happy with the location of where it's at. And again, I can change the color of that as well. So it's so easy to add these embellishments. You just can click and drag whatever things that you want. You can change the color of it here, you can change the color of it here. But that shows you kind of the basics of everything that we have to offer on here. So go ahead and play with all of these features because I've kind of given you a very good overview of how this all works. And then when you are done saving it, I'm going to go ahead and just delete this because I don't have anything there to show. And I think I'll delete this too, just so I don't have a random ribbon sitting there by itself. If I wanted to add a stickies or something there, I could hurry and drag and drop one over or add some journaling. But for now, we'll just leave it as is. And then if I'm done and I'm ready to buy it, we are going to click on Buy Project, and this will go ahead and add it to my cart. Now here's one thing you'll need to know. This has this little box on there that makes it look like, uh-oh, what did I do that's wrong? Nothing. It just means, when I highlight this, you'll see it. This project contains layouts that need to be approved. Close to My Heart gives you one last chance to look over your layout and make sure there's no mistakes or anything that you want to change. So you go down here to the bottom and click on Approve One Layout, and it'll show you the layout that you're working on, and it takes a second to load. But then once this loads, you can take this tool down here and zoom in to all the different parts of your layout so that you can see up close if there's anything that you missed or that you feel like you need to change. Again, because this is Studio J and they have so many incredible features between the kit and the kit mix and your photos and then the embellishments and all the things you've added, this does take a minute. So don't stress if it takes a while. That's okay. It'll take a minute. And just know that there's nothing wrong with that. So if you have other things to do, go grab a drink of water, come back. It's not that long, but it does take a little bit of time. So if I look at this, this shows me the layout I was just working on. It's pretty small, but if I take this little tool and start dragging it, see how it starts to zoom? I can zoom into quite a bit of my layout. And then I can move this and start looking at all of the different aspects of my layout really close and kind of just look at it and go, yeah, I'm happy with it. Because once you click approve and you go to check it out and purchase it, Close to My Heart can't make any changes after the fact. So it is what it is. Let's say I like it, I'm good, it's approved, it's in my cart, and you can see it's showing up back here in my cart. Now you do have a minimum of 4 layouts to purchase at a time. You can't just buy one and have it shipped. You've got a minimum of 4, but that's okay. This is in my cart and it'll always be in my cart. So that is the basics of the Studio J process start to finish to purchase this. And as you keep creating projects, you can go back to My Projects or a Start page to complete things that you're working on. As you finish them, they'll just show up here, 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 and it'll have a running subtotal. As soon as you hit 4, you can go ahead and purchase them. But one thing really quickly is when you have your layouts, Close to My Heart will ship them all in one box. And the best thing about this is I believe the minimum shipping is $5.95 if I'm remembering right. And that is a flat fee for as many layouts as they can fit in that box. So it's actually smarter for you to order more layouts than to do just the minimum 4. So you can have between 4 and 50 layouts in one box. That's the max, is 50. But if you order 4 layouts, it's $5.95 shipping. If you order 50 layouts, it's still $5.95 shipping. So it just makes it an even better deal if you order quite a few. I've never waited till 50. I do maybe 10 or 12 because I want to get my projects back. But then once you click to check out, what this will do for you is your layout is sent to Close to My Heart. They will look over the color and make sure that when they will print the actual layout for you in a 12 by 12 size. They will look at it, make sure the color and everything is great. So you get a gorgeous layout sent back to you. You will also get a JPEG image emailed to you, and usually it takes maybe an hour or so. You'll get an email that says click this link to download your images. And you can take those and put them on your Facebook page, or email family and email them a picture of the layout that you just did. And that is something free that comes with that $6.95 layout. You get the JPEG images free. Now, if you don't want to get the printed images, you can opt to just purchase the JPEG images for $2.95, but it's honestly a much better deal just to add $4 to that and get two scrapbook pages. You get a full layout for $6.95. It's a great deal. So this is it in a nutshell. Go play with Studio J. It is awesome, and you are going to love it the more you get used to it. Let me know if you have questions, and enjoy your day, everybody. Bye-bye.